Good day, and welcome to Far Reaches. We are four people from similar parts of the world who have wound up chasing different dreams and living different lives. We are Richard, Rawley, Joel, and Micah. Richard and Micah are from Southeast Oregon, from two small ranching communities known as Pine Creek and Plush. Rawley and Joel are from Northeast Oregon, from the Pendleton area. We met through college, mutual friends, and heard of stories of each other. Somehow wound up being at the same place at the same time. See, we live and work in different parts of the U.S. now and have all taken different paths to get to where we are. We all talk separately and live far apart. So we decided we should try and talk more together. We hope you come along and enjoy.
Hey, how your mom and them? Welcome to Far Reaches Podcast. That is right. We are still here, still live, still kicking. Get rid of us that easy. And guess what? All four Reachers are in the hizzy. That's right. Guys, welcome back. Welcome, everybody. Thank you again to our sponsors, B&K Auto Salvage, for sponsoring this each and every, I was going to say week, but I'll just say episode. That's probably more accurate. The good friends there at B&K, located in LeGrand and Baker City. I think the website is even something as so simple as bnkaautosalvage.com. So give them a check. I am Micah. That is Rawley. That is Richard. And Joel just ran away already. So that's about normal. We're good to go now. So guys, welcome to the Far Reaches. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Richard's on mute. Joel's talking off screen. We're right on fire.
I'm doing good.
Rawls is doing great. Rawls is eating mixed nuts, sitting in his chair. Don't get much better. Richard still can't get off mute, or there's just absolute chaos in the background. He doesn't want to display it.
He's nuts.
He's nuts. I worked this summer with a poor gal named Dee, and we were up at Starkey. Not Starkey, actually. We're up at Sled Springs, way up around Rawls country. And she had her dog with her, so we'd get her dog. We'd call her dog over, and I'd write Dee's nuts on a little piece of paper and put it up in her dog's collar, and she'd call her dog back. Like, what's this note say? Dee's motherfucking nuts. Yeah, all summer long. We had a lot of fun with it. So she was in the Army Reserve, so she was definitely used to the assholishness. So it was beautiful. But welcome, guys. We're going to jump right in our first segment called the Reach Around, and it's going to be a double Dutch rudder tonight since all four of us are here. Last time, Richard and I pulled through with the good old-fashioned just Dutch rudder, just two of us reaching around. So we're still getting over that. I think we're a little closer than we ever were before. Maybe we'll spend Thanksgiving together. Who knows? Anyways, what's going on? Joel, where you been, man? What's going on? Tell us your story.
God, when was the last time I was on one of these? Have I been on since Pendleton?
I don't think so. Maybe the first one. Yeah, but like fuck, Bradbury or Rawls or somebody was gone. So it's been like,
did you guys know I bought a car? I bought a car for me.
Well, kind of. Like I passed it along, I think. Or we talked about it briefly, because last time you were in the basement last time we talked, but it's been like a freaking month or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I bought a car. I've been playing. Yeah, bought a pickup. I've been playing a lot of golf. Not really getting that much better, but I've been playing like 4 or 5 times a week. I'm getting better. Like I used to regularly shoot up into like 117, but now it's pretty consistently under 100. So that's good. I sent my cousin Jennifer. Funny thing happened. I sent my cousin Jennifer a text message that I was in Eastern Oregon for the summer, and jokingly I was like, I don't know, I might take a vacation for my Wall Street job and do harvest this summer. I don't know. And then I guess there was a wedding this weekend over in Hermiston, and my sister-in-law Jennifer ran into my cousin Jennifer, and this information got relayed. And then so yesterday I got a job offer to work harvest via voicemail from Turgeson. Like Jennifer, you need to resolve this. I'm not working harvest this summer. It's just a joke. I don't have the knees for that.
We don't joke about harvest. If you don't have the knees for it, what do you think harvest is, man? Like you're not picking apples or some shit.
You got to pick up wheat. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. That's because you're kidding, because it looks of all of our faces like, what are you you're talking about. Yeah, you're probably driving a wheat truck, man. Like that's pretty skate.
Yeah,
Talking on the
I'm not.
CB. I think you could do both.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've been having a pretty good time in Pendleton. I went to a Rotary Club luncheon. I had
awesome. Get your little sign in there.
Getting involved in the community here.
It's hard not to, isn't it?
Philanthropic needs. I've been going to the Rainbow here and there. Let's call it.
You consider that philanthropic? Is that what you're calling going to the Rainbow now? I'm gonna write this off as research. I might be doing a book. I don't know what, but I'm calling this research. Yeah.
Saw an interesting list at the Rainbow. We won't talk about it unless other people want to bring it up. But
oh, that list. Yeah, that's distinguished. All right.
The list. I got the list changed though. Don't worry. I got it changed.
Okay.
Shoot, that's about it.
It's not like you're right in the groove of P-Town though, playing golf 4 or 5 times a week.
You get it changed for the whole Bigsby family or just part of it? Part of that.
Just the one.
Just the one.
There's two of them on there. I just got one removed.
And I don't understand that.
But only one of them were chaps, I think, right? I mean, I know they're unrelated incidents, but yeah.
I haven't seen that Bigsby. I don't even know. If I saw him, I wouldn't even recognize him probably. I don't know.
I don't know what the hell he would have got kicked out of the Rainbow for. I certainly had it coming, but I don't know about him.
Well, let's find out.
What did you do? You beat somebody up in the bathroom, I heard, right?
No,
he was beaten off in the bathroom. That's completely different.
I heard you beat the shit out of somebody in the bathroom who like fucked with your dad or something.
That wasn't me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was another brother.
That was another one of them. Yeah. The one you would recognize. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I don't really remember.
Was it the Shaps? Flaming ass? Wasn't that? I don't think that would be it.
I don't know. I'd have to go ask that bartender that used to be there.
The one that wanted to shit in your hat?
Yeah. Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The guy with the mustache.
Is he even around?
Is he still there?
No, I don't know what happened to him.
You think maybe the legend of Rawley Bigsby has been greatly exaggerated over time, possibly?
No, I think it's a fair legend. I think Rawley Bigsby has probably changed quite a bit. But
oh, I don't know about that. I suppose if you fed me enough whiskey like they used to, I'd still be an asshole.
Yeah. Instant asshole, just add whiskey. Yeah. And so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember what I did to get on the 86 list, but it's hard to say.
I mean, it could have been like me tearing phone books in half.
It's not like I didn't go there very often.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, have you literally not been back since to the Rainbow since?
Oh, I don't think. I don't think I've been in the Rainbow for pushing on 10 years.
Wow.
We used to go pretty much whenever we wanted to, though, Ross. Like there never was a concern. There was. I can't go in the bow because I got.
There was a time there where I was for about, I don't know, through most of my 20s. I spent a lot of time in those bars.
Affirmative.
Yeah. But
it's a landmark. Kind of hard.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that you can get 86 for doing something like stupid stuff like not remembering the punchline of a joke and just continuously telling the joke until you get cut off.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that wasn't what it was.
If that list, the 86 list, if that got published or something, that bar would be done with a woke crowd. There is, because you don't know who people are, like the names and stuff, so there's a lot of descriptors on there.
It didn't take much to. It didn't take a whole lot to get on that list, though.
In parentheses, it'll be like mean Indian hams, drinks hams in parentheses.
Yeah, that might cast a pretty wide net. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. That's how it was described. Things were described on there, given the folks that were making the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. Rawls, that's a good segue for you to give us your reach around. How's things been going, man?
Busy. It's haying's gonna start real quick. Probably this coming weekend I'll start knocking hay down, and it's dry. It's super dry. The grass just isn't coming on the range ground, and there's just lots of busyness. I'm trying to get a bunch of fence built and get equipment ready to go for haying and just all the fun stuff. So it's just a nonstop revolving door. You just keep walking around in a circle and opening up another door. So
Just rinse, lather, repeat for sure.
Yep, exactly. So,
you just hope you do it better every time it comes around. Like,
oh, there's always things that we're improving on and differences we're making. So it's just a nonstop grind. So
it's yours. It's your grind.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. There's parts of it that I don't enjoy, but you've always got the wonderful neighbors, and you've got the equipment that never breaks down. So
yeah, fantasy land. Yeah, what's that saying about good fences make great neighbors? Yeah. It comes with an Irish mechanic too, Richard.
You should just get brand new equipment. That won't break down.
Yeah, that always works. Yeah.
Yeah, that just is completely affordable this day and age.
That's
I don't think I've ever seen a new tractor. Everyone's tractor is from like 1970s.
Oh no, there's people who do run new equipment.
Yeah,
but
I saw a $97,000 pickup this week, so I can't even imagine what a tractor costs right now.
A lot more than that.
Would have 50 grand in the back of it? Holy shiitake. Wow.
3 boards of plywood. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. That's AKA. Yeah, we're not on the gold standard anymore. We're on the plywood standard. So somewhere there's a giant lumber yard that's backing all our currency. Sawdust would be the new Bitcoin. Yeah.
It pretty much is.
Don't throw that away, are you psycho? Yeah. It can't be that difficult to go onto like some land and chop down a tree in the mountains, right?
And make plywood?
And make well, not plywood, but I don't know, make wood.
Mill lumber.
Yeah, when they constantly shut down every forest in the Northwest, for example, that's part of it. Another one is
you bring in one log to the mill and sell it to the mill?
One log?
Yeah.
I suppose you could.
I suppose.
Give me $300 for this log.
Yeah, throw one in the back of your pickup and stop off, or just sell it to swine flu when it's way by. He'll just pick it up and throw it on there.
Just
cut you in.
Drag it behind your pickup down the highway.
Absolutely, yeah. Sort of like bringing a criminal to justice, back in the old days. Easy, Richard. You couldn't afford to pay attention. Yeah. You're just wishing somebody would buy it, not necessarily that you could sell it. Yeah. For those of you watching, Richard's turning as red as he was on the Alvord field trip. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. I'm waiting for the neck dart to come in from Alina too, just out of nowhere. She just rolls him out of the chair and she sits down. She's like, all right, now let's get down to business.
Well, she missed that. She's gonna have to wait till it comes out.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That might even be the title. We'll see. Well, since you're feeling so chipper, Richard, do you want to continue the reach around?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yes, that would be considered the harvest.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're a self-made man, are you?
Yeah. I have my cousin from Washington, D.C. city across me. He's 14, so I'm sure his mom's going to have lots of words for me.
There's way worse to get here. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure there's way worse.
He wanted to sit in on the podcast.
Is he gone already? Is he like deuces?
Oh no, he said he did gross.
14, I suppose. Could be interesting. That's hilarious. From DC, how long is he in town for?
Well, he's got to go back soon, but then hopefully he comes back out this summer. So we got plans for him. Teach him how to ride. Yep.
Beauty.
Oh man. So I got good
inner
news.
city. Is he an inner city kid?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Inner city. Where do you live, Aiden? Chantilly. Inner city Chantilly.
Sounds pretty
near
mean
Chevy
streets.
Chase, Maryland.
The mean streets of Chantilly.
I don't know. You live on the East Coast. Huh?
Chantilly, Virginia.
Virginia.
It's
Is that close to Chevy Chase, Maryland?
No, it's in Virginia.
It's a little bit. It's to the west of there, southwest.
Yeah.
About an hour or so.
Hour. All right.
The mean streets of Chantilly, Virginia.
Yep.
Rolling. Hey, where's that free bowl of soup you got with that freaking hat? You,
Oh, my A's hat?
Yeah.
My
Is
A's
that an
hat?
A's hat? Good God, it
Yeah,
looks like some kind of freaking do-it-yourself puzzle kit or something you got on there, or like I saved an elephant or something kind of hat. Like, yay me! You got a tote bag with that and a sticker to put on your Subaru.
No, I went into Shields in Reno this week and wanted to buy a pair of Oakleys, but they're all really super dorky all of a sudden. So
Yeah, that just
thought I'd
changed.
All of a
get
sudden?
super dorky-
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Joel.
They've been dorky for like 15 years.
All right, I could have fit a dorky that clashed with my dorkiness. So
Okay.
that was a strike.
Yeah. Ooh, nice baseball analogy. Well done. So you ended up settling for that hat. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. And it was like $32, and I went through and I got it for 19, so it was a win. So
They were happy just to get rid of that son bitch. Like,
yep.
they
They're
probably
like,
threw
"Hey, sucker."
20 in the bag with you on the receipt. Like, just this guy needs all the help he can get as it is.
That was
Like
good
an
news.
A's fan.
Was Reno was wide open. It was great to just go
awesome.
and be in Reno. Yeah, I didn't try any casinos or anything, but every place else I went was good. I had a Buffalo Wild Wings withdrawal for about a year and a half, so
That'll do
quenched
her.
that one.
That'll
Went
do
and
her.
ate about 30 wings. So got really good news before I came into the podcast. Found out some of my cows are coming off the desert in 10 days. They usually stay out there until after Labor Day.
Yeah. So you got those Norwegian stacking cows or what?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like good news? Like
No, that's sarcasm theater. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Cow calls in, says they're coming home early this year.
Yeah. Coming home early. And you know, that's like the kids go out for the night. So you and mom are, planning a nice dinner, and then the kids come back at like 6 o'clock in the evening. That's not good.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Real estate's going good. Sold a few houses. I do have a lumber yard for sale. Just doesn't have any lumber.
This is Caddyshack special. Right in the lumber yard.
We got graduation going on here. That's been fun. Yeah, not really much been going on. Everything, the cows that I have on pasture, they're all looking good. It's just only a matter of time until all the water and the feed is gone. But for right now, it's high cotton.
You just don't think about the next few weeks. Everything's freaking golden.
Yeah.
Worry about what's under your control. And you've got like a make your own lumber yard opportunity. That's pretty cool. Bring your own lumber. And I got the yard. I think that's good.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm thinking maybe I might be in the bar business by the end of the year. Who knows?
There you go. And now I have that stupid milkshake, bring the boys to the yard song in my head. And I just pictured Richard with milkshakes.
That will be me. My milkshakes will be available probably come September.
It's going to be a very special roundup this year. Yes.
I think Roundup. I think everybody's stress level will be so high by Roundup that it ought to be a pretty good one this year.
Dang, I might have to ninja back for that one again and put the TP back up. That was
People are going to need a big release. It's good. It's just I can't even describe how bad this drought is right now.
yeah. It's
So
Are you talking about Pendleton Roundup or your guys' Roundup?
Lake County
Oh.
Labor Day weekend. You should
Are
come
you
down to
guys
that.
Okay. Are you guys all coming to Pendleton this year?
well,
Depends
since I
on-
won't be bringing cows up in the desert, I'll have a lot of free time. So probably.
Yeah, there you go. It just depends on how
Yeah.
communistic they are. Like, I don't know what
Rawley, are you
restrictions
going
they're
to
going
come
to have.
down the hill?
You gonna come out? You
Making
gonna come out of the holler?
You got to go off mute and tell us your answer.
No, I'm not.
Oh, why?
I'm sure I can find something better to do.
Because he might have to poop.
Then the Pendleton Roundup?
He'll
Yeah.
come down for a day. He's got to come say hi.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll just kind of see what I have going.
Lay by
You
your-
guys
Yeah,
all
but-
come. We could do a live podcast from Pendleton Roundup.
Well, it's
One of the
From
thoughts.
room
Yeah.
17.
Oh shit.
I'll get us in there.
That could be
With
good.
Casey, my brother, could get us in there for a live podcast. Live interviews, Flint. We get Flint in there.
Yeah.
Drop
We have a
in.
grand old time. I don't know what kind of restrictions they're going to have on Pendleton. I haven't heard yet. Haven't asked either.
Nothing. I don't think they'll
I
have
just
anything.
pulled out my gestation chart. I think Rawley might.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rawley might be busy.
Well, there's that too.
yeah. Got
Is it
plenty
already?
going on.
That kid's already due?
No, not
They're
in September,
well,
but
they're pretty much due the time you figure out you're pregnant. Or you mean like, oh, due around Labor Day? I got you. Yeah.
no, I've got the grass deal is going to be a big concern up here come September.
Yeah.
Most of us don't start coming off until October ordinarily, and so there's a real good chance I'll be humped up and busy trying to get hay done and get cows in all at the same time. So
Well, I'm just going to say this too. If we're all in town, then we'll just come see you. And guess what? You'll have to put up with us. So
oh, hell,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll just see how it goes. It's
Yeah.
kind of
I'll be on Harrow Bed driving around picking up hay. You guys can be Phil farting around doing whatever you're doing. We'll just run the podcast like this. We'll be live.
Yeah.
From,
it's
from the
kind of
EO.
gonna be one of those years where you don't know what to expect till it's happening because
That's what she said.
nobody's got answers for what our weaning weights are going to be, when we're going
You
to
might
be
have
doing it.
to
It's kind of
early weaning this year might certainly be an opportunity, but if everybody's doing it, then there'll be a lot of calves on the market. So
yeah, it'd be nice. I haven't checked today yet, but the calf market hasn't been that great, so we'll just see where it lands. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see where the hay market lands too. We're kind of all over the board for a lot of different reasons in that too. I mean, guys are probably going to be selling a lot of loose ends on their cow herd and trying to tighten things up on that end, and feeds the export market, they're not moving a whole lot of anything. They're still sitting on last year's inventory with them not buying hay. They're not putting a lot of demand on the market. And dairymen are looking at soybeans for protein right now. There's just a lot of different things happening that are going to influence this hay market, and nobody really knows what direction it's going to get influenced yet. So I've got horse people calling me who ordinarily have pasture in the summer who don't have any pasture, and they're already feeding hay. So
okay, in June. Wow.
yeah, and it's going to be an interesting year.
It will be for
We'll
sure.
just see what happens. So,
Hurry up and wait, as they would say.
yeah.
Well, either way, we'll try to have a little reunion. Richard's still on mute again. We always miss the good stuff, Richard says.
I have not stopped buying hay since December. And I thought maybe I wouldn't have to buy hay this month, but I'm buying 2 truckloads this month.
Yeah.
Falcon. No way. No wonder you're wishing you could sell that morning wood. Jesus.
This is what they call revenue stacking.
Yes. Oh, Falcon. That's going to cause an audit. Yeah.
I forgot probably the biggest news of the year. The thing I've been focusing,
On you?
hours a day paying attention to is for the longtime listeners, go back to the GameStop saga.
Mhm.
So all those winnings from GameStop stock, I pumped them all into that SPAC, the PSTH. And I'm
Yep.
sorry, Mike, I got you wrapped up in that. I don't know if
We're
you
having
still
fun.
are.
I'm still in it. I ain't fucking getting out now. Yeah.
Well, finally, we have a deal. The makings of a deal.
Are you kidding
Did
me?
you hear? You
No,
heard about this, right?
I've not. No, I've been totally swamped with work. I've not heard a thing.
Complicated as hell, but I think initially spooked people, but I think it's going to be ultimately really good. So you got the PSTH, which each share has $20 behind it. So people right now it's going for like $23.50 a share. So if you were to buy it, you're basically paying $23.50 for $20. So you got a little bit of a premium there. But they finally announced that we're putting $4 billion to buy 10% of Universal Music Group, which is going to be a spinoff from a big conglomerate called Vivendi. Valued anywhere by like the investment banks, valued anywhere from about $45 to $100 billion. So it's pretty wide spread
definitely.
there. But you're going to have, and that's a pre-IPO price. So IPO, they might IPO, come out, initial public offering at $25 a share, but we're getting in at $14.75 per share. Then that leaves $5.25 remaining. That's going to stay as what's going to be known as PSTH Remain Co.
Oh, okay. That's catchy.
So you'll still have the same number of shares in that. Plus, they're going to do something with the warrants, so you're probably going to end up with more shares of it. So there's still going to be upwards of like $3 billion to either do another equity transaction of an IPO or investment, or you can merge with a company like a traditional SPAC usually does. Plus, Bill Ackman came through and he's going to give everybody what's called a SPARC, special purpose acquisition rights. And that is like a SPAC in that you just get, for every PSTH share you own, you're going to get the right to purchase one share of his next transaction, but you don't have to put the money into it until you know who the company is that they're investing in and at what valuation.
Oh, really?
So it's a pretty sweet deal. I think
Yeah.
this is not investment advice, but what I'm hoping is that Universal Music Group IPOs at $22 a share, which is about where it is now. Then you still have the other $5.25 that's going to be worth like $6.50 on the market, and that maybe when they find a target, that'll go up to to whatever.
Mhm.
And then those special acquisition rights, those are probably going to be worth. That's a free option. Those are going to be worth at least a couple bucks each. I think this is going to pay off. We'll know more June 22nd is when the vote happens and when Ackman's able to speak publicly about the deal.
So if we have these shares right now, what's our course of action? I don't want to ask you investment advice online. We can talk about it offline too. Like, do you just hang on to it? Do you sell it?
Yeah, just hold on to it and wait till Ackman can speak publicly about it later, like 2 weeks.
Late May, June. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just like when that went ape shit, I just like closed the box and was like, I'll just see what happens, basically. So I hadn't even been looking at it at all.
Yeah, man. I have all my money plus margin.
Yeah.
I'm using margin in it. It's dangerous.
I recommend
hopefully it pays off.
As your attorney, I recommend you drink heavily. Yes.
That's probably. I've been waiting for that shit for like 8 months. Like literally, it takes up a significant portion of my day.
Yeah.
In anticipation.
Yeah, I put a decent. Well, not very much, but I was like, I could use that somewhere else. But I'm glad I got it where I have too. So it's cool. Yeah. Richard, anything else? He's calling her quits, folks. So for my reach around, let's see. I've been doing some traveling. I headed up the weekend of Saturday Memorial Weekend. I went up to Texarkana, which is about a quick little 12-hour drive if you basically just stop for gas from here. hang out with Dad for a week, and because like around Father's Day, it just doesn't really work for my schedule and everybody else's. So worked remote. I'd spent, I think, a week or two in the office, and then I was like, "Hey, boss man, I really need to go work remote for a week." He's like, "Jerry." So I took off like at 4:00 in the morning on Saturday and loaded the Super Hound up in the old Renna, and gave her the haul ass north, and spent a week up there. Built some cool shit in the shop. I built a really cool, huge frame for this. I got a Mile City Buck and Horse Sale poster this year, and so I built a cool frame with that out of some old cedar. And then we redid like this. This old bench was basically just like a frame, and we cut down a bunch of old wood for that, and redid it all, and used some like linseed oil and all kinds of cool stuff on that, and rebuilt it, and then did a bunch of stuff around the house for everybody, and even talked my folks into buying a brand new 0-turn mower. So they have like this, like a 5-acre freaking yard that their garden, they call a yard. And we're wearing out old little crappy Craftsman and John Deere mowers in about 6 months. I'm like, here, let's go just try one of these out. So now they're kicking it up to like industrial level yard care. So I get updates from the mower now, which is pretty funny. So then hauled ass back and just getting into the groove, for the office day. We started the fired up the social committee again, or I guess my boss calls it the fun committee. So I'm on that, and a couple other people I haven't even freaking met yet. And so, which has been entertaining, but we had like our first like inner office whiteboard collaboration earlier today, trying to figure out what some freaking scheme my boss had put together, like, like 2 weeks after I got on the job, he hands me this project with this guy in Brazil. Like, here, gotta button this up and take care of it. And it's got it's like 7 components, and the guy doesn't listen to what we do. So we had like this 15-minute thing on the whiteboard today in the account manager's office, because she was pulling her hair out about like, what exactly is the plan? Why is this guy sending so many samples? How much is he supposed to be paying and all this shit? And I was like, oh yeah, well, this is a long time ago. So we had like diagrams, I'm taking pictures, but it was cool because we were all in the office. And it would have probably caused like a nuclear meltdown if we try to do a Zoom call and get through all this stuff, where we could just huddle up and, 15 minutes, had a plan, knew what we were going to go do, and went ahead and rocked it. So it's cool to have that office interaction again. Even though I really like working from my home office, it's getting that camaraderie and just that addiction to seeing everybody, and the random, comments in the hallway, or, at least 2 of the people I work with are from Brazil. So we got to talking about picanha and freaking barbecue and shit today in the hallway for a good 30 minutes. And we all got hungry and agreed we're going to have a barbecue soon. So, again, shit we wouldn't talk about if we were all stuck at home doing our own thing. So, that's been the great part, just doing that. And then it's been pretty dry here the few weeks. I'm gonna sound like a total dick. I apologize. It's been dry the past couple of weeks, but hurricane season's coming, so we had some pretty good rain the past couple of days. And again this afternoon, I'm sorry, everybody's fucking selling cows and pulling their hair out, and I'm talking about hurricane season, but hey, I got to put up with big bugs and shit. So yeah, and the exterminator came yesterday too. That was pretty cool. So we have these, I call them Boone and Crockett cockroaches here. They're like, I don't know, 2.5 inches long sometimes. So you like walk in the kitchen, and you like step on a skateboard, and you didn't. That's the fucking cockroach. So exterminator comes like every 2 months and blasts everything. So then I'll walk out tomorrow morning, and there's gonna be a whole shitload of them on the floor upside down. So you just sweep them up and throw them away. But
that's terrifying. I fucking hate cockroaches, man. We had such a bad cockroach problem at my old apartment.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah, I don't know if they're technically cockroaches. I think there's some like a water beetle or something.
Water bugs are worse because they're bigger.
They're big. Like some bitches are literally like 2 inches long. But somebody's like, oh, I could never handle that. I'm like, that's a small price to pay for good weather and freedom. So I'm willing to spend $80 every 2 or 3 months to have the dude come spray the shit out of everything. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the high points.
Speaking of lawnmowers, I was just thinking, my brother bought a new lawnmower today because his broke down.
Which one?
Maybe it's because Brian.
He bought something new? Are you shitting me?
Yeah,
I'm serious.
He was so excited about this.
Okay, well, I bet he gets a little amped up sometimes. Yeah.
but I'm just thinking like for Richard and Rawley, you guys are like working outside all day, every day, right? Nod, yes, yeah. And you doing like is it difficult then on Saturday or Sunday to go mow the lawn because it's just more outdoor work to do?
It's no fucking Saturdays or Sundays. It's just another damn day.
I had it on mute, so you missed all the laughing in the background by my wife. My wife is completely in charge of the lawn.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's why
Get
it's
out.
I feel like that would be really difficult to like spend all day cutting hay, and then it's like now I got to do my yard for no reason.
No, Kelly mows the lawn. Typically, I mean, I will if but she takes care of the lawn and the garden and stuff like that. So,
good question though. Yeah.
If lawn maintenance had been left up to my father when I was growing up, everything would be dirt.
Yes.
Yeah, my standards of a lawn are not near what Kelly's are, so I just let her deal with it because
Like looking great, honey. It's looking great.
No, like Brian spends like 5 hours every Saturday working on his yard.
Man's a menace. Yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It just clicked to me one day. Like I used to hate working in the yard. I was like, I don't care. I don't even need a yard. And now I'm like, oh yeah, boy, look at that. Boy, that St. Augustine grass is coming in nice. Good thing I fertilized. I better get that mower height adjusted. Blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? Yeah. I mean, there's a long list, but it just clicked one day. Yeah.
I really need to get into watching King of the Hill. There's a lot of lawn.
I got a great lawn
stuff in there.
story. When I was 16, I had a little lawn mowing business when I was 12, 13, 14. Anyways, well, then when I turned 15, 16, I started going out and haying and out on Adel and Plush. Anyways, but my mom still expected me to come back and mow the lawn. So I'd come back and I'd be covered. I'd mow the actual hay, so I'd just be covered in green from like the waist down. And then hay in the hayfield since like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd come home and I'd mow the lawn. Anyways, I was getting paid, so I got sick of mowing the lawn. So I paid the kid next door to mow the lawn. And my mom saw him about 4 weeks after I'd been paid. And she said, "Where's that kid mowing our lawn?" I was like, "I'm paying him. I'm giving him $20 a time to mow the lawn." She's like, "Damn it, that was your job. That's what you're supposed to be doing." I'm like, "I spent all day in the hayfield. I do not want to mow the lawn any longer." Anyways, I had to live in Plush the rest of the summer.
And that's the day Richard knew he was going to work for himself. Yes. How much was your mom paying you?
Oh no, it was part of the rent and board.
Okay. Gotcha.
So then after that little conversation, she decided my board would be in Plush, and
there you go.
I could cover my own feeding.
I would struggle with, I don't know if it's punishing you, but reprimand, I guess, for that. I'd be like, well, I guess you're delegating. That's worth it to you. So the yard looks great. You're responsible for it, or whatever you got to do. That's an interesting deal. Joel, what would your mom have done if you did that?
I think she would have been proud, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really have to mow the lawn much. That didn't last very long. I was too lazy.
I love my mother to death, but she's sometimes can be very much like a Maureen O'Hara character in a John Wayne movie.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing she was too. Yeah. Rawls, if you'd have pulled out, what would your folks have said? You're on mute.
I don't know. They probably would have thought that I finally got my brothers to mow the lawn.
That is like one of the best stories I've ever heard, because it's just how many things it brings about life into like one sentence. And then, then my board became Plush. There's so many things going on there. That's freaking awesome.
I always looked for jobs away from home. So
yes,
I I don't think I've grown up. By the time I was 14 or so, I don't think I mowed the lawn.
I don't think I did. I was thinking about that as I was asking you guys, because I was about 12 when I went to work for the neighbor hauling hay, and I think Dad just kind of liked to mow the yard too. It wasn't that we didn't have much yard really at all, so that was probably the other part about it. But yeah, that was never really on my chore list. I guess I'd have to like water the garden sometimes and things like that. We had a pretty big freaking garden, but I wasn't the yard guy very much. But again, it might have taken 10 minutes to mow, as you know, sparse and small as it was. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. But yeah, I'm hauling hay by hand when I'm 12. I guess Dad figured I didn't have to fiddle for it around with mowing the lawn either.
My dad, I remember when I was a little kid, my dad always yell at me I need to start turning a wheel around here. Whoa, turn wheel. Why don't you go out and irrigate the lawn? We call it irrigate the lawn. You want me to water the lawn? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll turn on the
no, I'll turn on the wheel line. Yeah. Let me go set the sprinklers.
Irrigate.
It's funny. Well, I cracked up today because we have this office communication things called Slack that everybody kind of chats back and forth on. You know, you can make like different groups and shit. And so, as I said, I don't know who the hell anybody is on the fun committee or social committee yet. So we've been trying to get a meeting scheduled. So somebody like on our little chat there on Slack is like, should we do a potluck next week? And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So I jump on it. I'm like, hey, yeah, that sounds fun. Do we need a secure conference room or outdoor area? You know, are we gonna provide some main courses or whatever? And somebody writes back like, secure the conference room? Like, sorry, that would be a military term. I don't really mean like we have to defend it, but we need to get it reserved is what I meant to say. But I say we need to secure that, like get it locked down. Like, so they're probably like, who in the shit is this crazy dude that's in that office down the hall that's playing music and talking loud? So I can't wait to meet everybody because who knows what it is, but I'm sure I will be scarring to whoever it is, I'm sure. So I'm like, hey, we could smoke a brisket. And they'll be like, oh, we could probably do some turnovers. Yeah, who knows what they're going to say, but it's going to be entertaining. Turn a wheel around here, Joel. Turn a wheel.
Turning a wheel.
Yeah, set the irrigation.
Never did.
Never did. Obviously. I was pretty lazy back then.
What?
At some point in your life, you go from turning the wheel to being the wheel.
There's that. Yes. I was still thinking about, was pretty lazy back then. I was like, yeah, good thing you've really turned over a new leaf. Anyways,
it's almost 2:05. We got fucking 2 episodes to Saved by the Bell coming up. I can't do it right now. TBS
Kelly
afternoon.
Kapowski, Dad. Kelly Kapowski. Yeah. We didn't have really afternoon TV in my days of my youth, so it didn't fucking matter if I wanted to watch, I guess, probably some kind of soap opera. We had like 1.5 channels when I was in the younger days. And then we got the satellite dish that was big enough to outdo NASA. So, yeah. I remember digging the freaking 4x4x4 hole for the satellite dish so we could fill it full of concrete and put the post in. So when the wind came along, it didn't blow it out of the ground. But literally 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot deep. Hand dug that in the corner of the garden area to put the freaking, I think it was like an Echo Star, like at least a 12-foot dish, maybe 15.
Yeah, every time you change the channel, it had to like rotate.
Yeah, unless it happened to be on the same satellite, you know, like G4 had a bunch like Disney and crap on it. And then, but yeah, like, oh, and that's the crappy thing. Like if you're watching Playboy, it's clear over on F4, channel 24, it was way over here. So like, you know.
Did you grew up with the Playboy channel?
Yeah. And American Triple Ecstasy. Yeah. But
what a treat.
You had to like, you know, like there's nothing. There's like Bulgarian hopscotch on F4. There's nothing else on there. So if your parents knew anything about the satellite, or even the neighbors, like they can drive by and it's all cranked over, they're like, somebody's not home with any parents. Yeah. Like, look at Richard.
It's like, one of the most shocking holiday moments we had was over Christmas watching the Disney Channel on the satellite. At about 11 o'clock, the parents were all in playing cards and visiting, and Disney Channel turned into a porn channel. as the satellite shifted over.
Shifted the skew. Yeah, it was like they were real close. Yeah. Yeah, G10, I think, was that, and that's where triple ecstasy was, I think. But it's that would happen. Like sometimes our neighbor would order pay-per-view and we would get it on our satellite because we were like a few hundred yards away. Yeah, there was no TV commercials most of the time, like on network TV. It would just be like the television guys, or I saw the fight live when Geraldo got hit with the chair. Unedited, no commercials, full-blown chaos. Yeah. The Super Bowl where the Bengals guy broke his leg. Who was it? Thurman Thomas? Ernest Biner, I guess. Ernest Biner. He broke his leg, and it was like he was flopping like a freaking dog on a rim. And they're like, "Oh, we'll never see that on TV again." The whole commercial break, they're like watching it, rewinding it. Oh, Jesus Christ! Look at that. It was like so crazy, dude, to see TV without any commercials. I think Joel just had to go vomit. Yeah. How do we get on the fucking satellite TV rant, anyways?
It happens.
Sometimes, yeah. I think that's a perfect segue to take us to this week's entertainment spotlight, which thank God Mr. Bigsby had the foresight to say that we need to laugh. And Rawley picked the 1980 classic Caddyshack. We've even had some Reacher mail. Rawls, there's a plethora of reasons I'm sure that you picked Caddyshack for us to talk about, but what comes to mind first?
We all know it by heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know. It's just a classic it never gets old. You can watch it over and over and enjoy it just as much every time. And sometimes it's even funnier than it was the last time because you pick up. And
no doubt.
Yeah, probably for me, I've watched the backstory on it. They had a documentary on the making, and that's kind of I don't know, maybe it's not, but outside of probably Blazing Saddles, it's probably a novelty in filmmaking with all the impromptu things that they put in it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Chevy Chase was in his heyday, and those guys, like, they just threw the script out the window and partied like rock stars every night, and whatever they woke up to the next morning is what made the movie.
Yeah. And there's that famous story, like, holy crap, we don't have Bill Murray and Chevy Chase in the same scene. And they just came up with that whole, Cresta fender bends, Stone to Jesus belt, whole thing. Like that was because they didn't really like each other either. But like, that's one of my favorite scenes of the movie. And it was like totally last minute, mostly improv, just chaos.
Well, and that was a big problem with making that movie, is having those two together, because they really did not like each other. And like, they did not want to be on set together. They didn't want to do anything. And so they finally got them to do that one scene, and that was it.
Cannonball coming.
Yeah.
It's a little harsh. Yeah. It's manganese, not a thing John earlier.
Like I said, we know this movie by the back of our hand, and I guess probably the other reason that I wanted to bring it up is there aren't a lot of conversations amongst a group of guys that have anything to do with golf that there is not a quote, or just like you ad-libbing right there, it comes up all the time in conversation. So it's a fun one to talk about.
Lumberyard, that comes up all the time. You get a shitty shot. Where that one at? That's in the lumberyard. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all you got to say. It's like either in the creek or somewhere you don't want to be. Mr. Haverkamp, your ball's over here, Mr. Like that's what we called Mr. Hazenkamp at the country club. I always called him Mr. Haverkamp or Havershamp, because of just a lot of correlation, which was hilarious. The poor little bastard. Yeah. Jimmy Hazenkamp. Yeah.
No, just a fun movie to watch, and I figured there's probably not many of our viewers out there that haven't watched it several times either.
If they haven't, they sure need to get on their stick and watch it. And I watched the first part like closely last time I watched it, like when Danny's at the house and he's in there, all the stuff going on around the house with all the family, and his dad's like, who are you? Hey, who's this one belong to? Like, who's these freaking kids, and saving his money. I had a couple burgers and a Coke. Yeah, just
absolute chaos. I kind of obviously like wasn't paying attention when that was on, or skipped over it, or forgot about it. But that was really super funny to me for some reason this last time, watching the house where Danny lived and his ride to Bushwood on the way was pretty cool. So it was a different part for me I hadn't paid much attention to.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that movie so many times, but never like sit down and watch it from beginning to end and pay attention to the storyline. It's one of those movies where I'm like, I generally know what the story is, but I don't know, like I never watched the entire thing. I don't think I've ever watched it end to end. Still haven't.
Oh wow.
There's just, but you can pick up that movie any place in it, and it's good from that point on.
Yes, you don't need to have the beginning to enjoy everything else.
I really like. There's just a random scene that cracks me up every time, which is when Chevy Chase has that girl over to his house, and his place is just a mess.
Yeah,
he was trying to get some drinks together, so he's like refilling old beers. And then he like puts a cap on it, and then he pretends to pop it off, and he kind of spills it. Ooh,
easy. Yeah. He's like shaking it a little bit. Could you drink maybe a tuna colada? Yeah, just like he puts his hand through the Japanese like bonsai like wall thing. Oh, yeah, oopsie daisy. Yeah, like that whole scene when he's singing to her and taking the tequila shot. You know, he's throwing it over his shoulder. And I was born to love you, but I was born to lick you first, and just to lick your face.
I was born
to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to love you, but you were born to love me first. Let's go out to the pool. Yeah. And so
I feel like $1 million, or I feel like $100.
I feel like $100. Yeah. Bet you have a lot of nice ties. Tie. Yeah. It's, Spalding going around and getting all the leftover drinks, and he horks down the one with all the cigarette in it, and then comes outside and pukes right in the Doc Beeper's Porsche. It's freaking like, top to bottom, dude. That movie kills me. Then you ain't getting no coke. So yeah, Rawls, I was so stoked when you texted that. I was like, yes.
Well, and I don't know. I think there's so like Joel said, you can pick it up from any point and enjoy it, but there are so many scenes in that where we could sit here and talk about almost every scene played out and have the same laughable conversation, because it never ends in that movie. Like
I'm sure we could.
Well, there's like several
3 hours, about
storylines.
an hour and a half
several,
movie. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's several like good storylines going on at the same time in that movie.
Yeah,
totally.
Because you have Danny and Mary Kate. I want to call her Mary Kate, but the gal he's dating. Well, thanks for nothing. You got him. That thing going on. You got him trying to win the caddy tournament. You got Doc. You got Chevy or Rodney Dangerfield thinking about buying the place, and Chevy and the match, and all these different storylines going on. And then of course you got Carl chasing the Gophers, and bark like a dog. Oh yeah, you're a tramp. Oh yes, just. You're right. I hadn't thought about that. How many different storylines are going on? And then when he goes out and plays golf with the Reverend and gets hit by lightning, and rat farts, it's just like fiddlesticks. My name's Fred. I'm a man just like you are.
Judge. So is it? I don't know why I've always thought this, but Judge Smells isn't that
Smells.
the?
Yeah.
Was it his niece that was?
Yeah,
was
Lacey
it his
Underall.
niece? Yeah. Well, for some reason, I have always correlated Smells with Pops.
Oh, totally, dude. Yeah.
Like those two. Every time I see Pops, I'm just like, that guy should have been on Caddyshack.
100%, man.
Yeah.
It's just a cooler version of Judge Smells.
Yeah, we might as well just drop a plug there for the liquor store. So
yeah, that's our good friends at Pendleton Mixer and Cigar. Pops, as everybody knows, is the originator of said establishment, Greg Rowland Sr., aka Pops, everybody's hero and kind of everybody's dad too. It seems like to me for was mine when I was in Pendleton. So yeah, Pops, we mean that with all respect and admiration, that you were like the cool version of Judge Smales.
I think those are the first people that I had dinner with when I came to visit with you.
Oh yeah, yeah, we ran into the Rowlands. Yeah.
Happened to me this morning, actually. My nephew, Caleb, was telling me I was going to take him to Walmart and I was going to get him balloons and I have to get him Legos.
You'll get nothing and like it.
I'm going to get you nothing and you're going to like it. He didn't get it.
But did Brian hear it? Because he'd have been on the floor, probably. That'd have been perfect.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It was just a private conversation.
That's perfect, though, because he's going to be like, that's going to be rattling around his head for years. Like, what the hell was Uncle Joel talking about? I'm going to get you nothing and you'll like it. And he's going to see it on the movie someday and probably shite his trousers.
What's wrong with that guy?
Yeah. Jesus. What an odd statement to make. So exactly, real world example of Caddyshack in motion on the next generation and probably just completely messing them up. That's beautiful. That's the power of Caddyshack, Rawley. And what's that other movie, Richard, too, that you mentioned that we talked about? The documentary of the documentary about the guys at Lampoons.
Foolish and
something Endeavor. Yeah.
Notion. Yeah.
That's
good on its own.
That's like the backstory of the backstory. It's about the guys from National Lampoon, kind of all their activities and the writing they did on that and all that chaos. So it's like if you want a deeper dive, that's one to watch too.
And there's no way that Tin Cup would have ever worked without Caddyshack.
Ooh, interesting hypotheses. Yes, I concur. Probably like most golf movies would be like, what? Without, like, what a random premise for a movie. Like,
I gotta take 5. I'll be back in a bit.
All right, don't poop too hard.
It's got a new Android.
You might put it on mute. Just saying. Yeah, Richard, put it on mute before you go do your wood harvest.
I think you can mute him manually.
I know, but that's no fun. Why would I do that?
we don't need to hear their private. There you go. They're gonna start arguing or something.
You see Richard go flying across the room and Al just smacked him around. Like, you want a fresh one? No. Yeah. Not that would happen ever. Yeah. So, no, I was super stoked. Watched it again just because, and I'll probably watch it again next week just because. So, because it makes me laugh every time. So, even if you didn't play golf, I don't think you even have to play golf to enjoy Caddyshack.
No, because I don't play golf. I mean,
I've been there. It's been.
You can't really call it golf, but I can sure.
We can call it whack fuck for sure, but that's close to golf.
Yeah. They should just call it 4 because that's what it's like.
It's going 400 yards in 4 different directions. Yeah.
Yeah. But I sure appreciate the movie. I mean, it's always entertaining.
It sure holds up. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. No doubt about that.
Oh.
Hot damn. Well, oddly enough, we're going to go from Caddyshack right into our intellectual moment of the week. Again, proudly sponsored by our good friends at Pendleton Mixer and Cigar, downtown Pendleton on Southeast Immigrant, I believe, 235. It's across from the hardware store, the auto parts store. Ask anybody if you're in town and you don't know where the liquor store is. Say, hey, where's the liquor store? Or just call me. I'll give you instructions pretty much wherever you're at in P-Town, because I think it's still the only one in town. So stop in there, see our good friends, Junior, as we call him, Greg Rowland Jr. Say, hey, nice lady. Hey, shopkeep. I'm here from a Reach or discount. And let's just see what he gives you. If you actually go in the back, then you might not. You might. There might be some damaged goods or something back there. But they have a fine selection of all the greatest whiskeys and scotches and gins and vodkas and such in the world, and a good selection of mixers and cigars as well. So if you need any novelty shaped ice cubes or cigars or mixers like Coke, Pepsi, Mr. and Mrs. T's vodka, Bloody Mary mix, they got it all, folks, is what I'm saying. It's one-stop shopping. So that's our good friends at Pendleton Mixer and Cigar. So here's our intellectual moment. I picked another quote, and again, it's just randomly. I'll be searching throughout the week and something shows up. So I find it extra entertaining again this week. So here's our quote. An intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. An artist says a hard thing in a simple way. I don't know. I've been on this word intellectual kind of kick lately, but so an intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. An artist says a hard thing in a simple way. What does that mean?
Dude, that pseudo intellectuals
Oh, well
say
said.
What was it? Easy thing in a hard way?
A simple thing in a hard way.
Something.
Yeah.
That's so true on the academics. I'd say an academic is a pseudo intellectual. If you look on like Twitter and you look at these, it's usually like the woke people. It is so hard to follow along with what they're fucking trying to say because of all the terms they use nowadays. I wish I could pull up just a quick example of it, but they make it so difficult to
there's so
understand a simple
isms and
concept.
that's, and I'm like, well, yeah, I think you nailed it when you said pseudo intellectual, because I really think that the smarter somebody is, or the more confident in what they're talking about, the simpler it can be. I truly believe that. Like they can break down anything into a simple manner, you know. So I think that's a point of like intelligence, I guess you could say, or common sense when they meet, because that's taking something that's complex and making it simple. That takes intelligence, I think. So you said pseudo intelligence or pseudo intellectual. I think a part of them gets a little warm and fuzzy when they're throwing out, 14 syllable words and everything has an ism on the end of it. And you're like, do you even know what that means? Like, to sort of plow down the runway. So it struck me as a good topic. So, Balls, what do you think?
Seems like a perfectly appropriate time to not say much.
And I'm golf clapping. Yes, golf clapping. Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you saying you're an artist?
Yeah, right. Intellect comes in all sorts of forms and shapes, and I think there's people that just feel the need to go over the top to prove the fact that they might be an intellect or someone smart. I've spent quite a bit of time around a lot of people that were men of few words, and when they spoke, you wanted to listen up.
100%.
I mean, yeah. I don't. As far as the artistic side of it was, I don't. Oh, I can't relate to a lot of artists. So.
And in a way, you're an artist with how you respond and craft and mold with what everything is around you. So I would say that'll be one factor. But yeah, I think oftentimes if people are getting too heady, it's almost a thing of either they have no foundation to stand upon, or they're completely insecure about what they truly believe or think, and so they have to kind of get a little flowery and embellish, if you will, because they really don't know what it's about, and they can't explain it in a simple manner because they don't even know it themselves or believe it. That's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
Dirtbags. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to you phrase something in such a complicated manner. It's hard to give a rebuttal because I have to sit here and think too long about what your message is.
And that's, I think, oftentimes
you can't respond right away. They get this sense that they just won that debate.
Say the latter half of that quote again about the artist.
An artist says a hard thing in a simple way. I guess what they're trying to say, like, they just kind of boil it down to like the essence of what's there. I think that's what he's saying. Not necessarily some person that paints, but like somebody who's just in tune, I think, with what their subject is. I think can say it in a simple way.
Yeah, artists tend to try to perfect their craft. And I don't know, some artists, when I think of artists, I think of saddle makers or
certainly
people who who spend a lifetime perfecting a craft, and I guess when they get good at their craft, it almost seems simple, or they've perfected it to the point where the detail is in the work itself, and you don't notice the detail because the work's so good.
They've just kind of boiled it down to the pure essence of what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's like, I think of a stand-up comic as an artist, and what they do is to make a great joke, you have to cut out all the unnecessary fat, what they call it, all the
Well said.
extra words, and get straight to the point.
Fewer words, the better. Isn't that what Seinfeld said? Like, he'd start with a joke that would take 50 words, and
All
he was
paragraph
happy
is
when he
their
could
concept.
get it down to 5 or 10 words, and then he was happy.
Yeah.
Richard, are you back?
Sort of. We're having a technical emergency. Sorry.
Oh, it's bueno. Do you want to weigh in real quick on the intellectual moment? Brought to you by our friends at Pendleton Mixer and Cigar.
Of course.
Well, I'll read you the
Anything
quote.
for Pendleton Mixer and Cigar.
Outstanding. They'll be happy to hear that. Here's the quote. An intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. An artist says a hard thing in a simple way. We've been all over the board. Joel's first comment was, I would say that would.
I was expecting like a third one, just a regular person.
Oh, no, that's where we ended it. And I guess the third one would be Joel said, I would say, a pseudo intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. Because usually they have to feel that they compensate, so to speak.
Like, so an intellectual, I think of like Robert Oppenheimer.
Sure.
And then when he dropped the bomb at Trinity, he said he thought to himself, "We've become death, destroyer of worlds." So that was sort of artistic. I mean,
you've just meshed them both together. That's pretty. Yeah. That's what I expect from Brad.
Well, I think that there maybe are some people that can straddle both lines, but very few. So.
Wow. Again, Richard comes out of left field, just 2 jabs and an uppercut, and we're like, just saying.
Yeah, most of the intellectuals drive me crazy.
Yes, because they just like to hear themselves talk most of the time. So,
yeah, I don't know if I made them mad. They haven't replied yet, but somebody was talking about the difference between Kayleigh McEnany and the former press secretary versus the current press secretary. So, yeah.
The only thing they have in common is the title of their job.
Yes. So, yeah, it was that seemed to be very highbrow, intellectual, posh on you for being such a moron type of. Mm-hmm. There's a lot too much more of that highbrow intellectual stuff than we need currently in this world. So we can probably tone that down and try and find some simple artistic ways to say things.
And I don't have to circle back on that statement.
Oh, that's so clever. That almost went over my head, but I got it.
I have moments. I should have told you to tip your hat back first so you could catch that as I went whipping by.
Yeah.
Might have give you whiplash. And speaking of heady intellectuals and circling back, Mr. Bigsby, are you prepared to share your word of the week, good sir?
Oh, I've got that? No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
No.
We can stall for a while and come back if you think of something. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hear about the new news that came out today that I think it was June 1st last year when Trump took the Bible out to that church after the protesters burned up the church for the photo opportunity, and all over the news it was they had the Capitol Police tear gas peaceful protesters nonsense and it was like just taken as fact. I even assumed that okay, that makes sense. He was gonna go to the church and do a photo opportunity. You can't walk through a group of protesters to do it. You gotta get them out of there. But all the news coverage was how, I guess, un-American that is and what's going on. Look at this dictator. It's scary for liberals. It finally came out today that that whole story was bullshit.
Yeah, surprise.
Did you see that?
I did not see that. No, but that doesn't surprise me for a millisecond. There's but what, at least three or four other stories already.
News
Like,
channels
yeah,
had to admit today.
oh, finally, yeah, our bad, yeah,
They have zero credibility left. Like
100%.
major news
Yeah.
outlets.
That-
They have
nothing,
zero
dude.
credibility.
Absolutely. That's why I haven't watched the news and I don't know how long. I could care less what they say. It means absolutely nothing to me. They could tell me my house is on fire, and if I felt heat on my backside, I probably still would not believe them, just because of how many times they've had opportunity and completely sold themselves down the river. I mean, like 1,000%. And for the record, folks, we're now on the official segment of What Grinds My Gears, brought to you by our good friends at B&K Auto Salvage in the Grand Ronde Valley. But it's completely, like, I mean, that was their role. That's what we looked to them for. That's why they had their, you can have a confidential informant in the source and all this. And then, next thing you know, they're just making shit up. Like sources say, in other words, I want this to be true or whatever. I've heard it around. So I'm going to quote it as a freaking story. And it's just absolutely unfounded completely. And it had impact.
It's crazy
on
that
everybody's
you read
life.
something see something in the New York Times or the Washington Post. You have to go to like a obscure news source to check the authenticity of the New York Times now.
Yeah.
Like I can't trust them on anything. Even 60 Minutes. Did we already talk about this on here?
Briefly?
60 Minutes?
Yeah.
Probably with the DeSantis thing.
Yeah.
They just threw out 50 years of credibility in one
For
segment.
nothing. For absolutely nothing, too. Like, they could have told it as a good story. Like there is a good story there in what he did in Florida, but they didn't want to tell that at all. That's not what they wanted to talk about. They wanted to shape it, change it around, make it look like you got, paid a lot of money to do whatever. It's like if you're reporting, you would show up and talk about the good story that happened and all the people that got helped and good got done, and you go on your way. That's what.
Then you got Brian Stelter or whatever the
little
fuck
turd
that
on CNN.
shithead's name is on CNN, asking Jen Psaki, like, what are we doing wrong, Jen, as media? She's a PR person for the White House, and he's asking, what can we do better as a journalist?
Hey,
you're supposed to learn that. This is your profession.
That's not who you ask for one.
PR person
you should
how to
already
do your job.
Very well know. Two, I'm going to point that out for now. Yeah, that's the sad state of affairs.
We're all backwards. We're backwards. It's a pendulum though. It's gonna swing back so hard, and I'm not really necessarily looking forward to that. It's gonna be harsh when it does come back the other way.
It might. It just depends. I don't know. I still think most people that are in DC are on the same page, so I'm not.
It's going to be absolutely no fun. I think is what it's going to be.
When it swings back?
Agriculture is already getting hit. You can't buy lumber. Pickups are $97,000. What else? Oh, gas. Well, they can't make. There's going to be a paint shortage. That's coming.
Paint?
Yeah, because they use petroleum products for it. Yeah, so go buy your paint today because probably in another couple months there'll be no more paint. So, it's not gonna get better because there's no actions being taken to make it better. And as petroleum gets more and more expensive, we don't have any lumber here, steel. We basically we signed this $1.6 trillion infrastructure bill, and we don't actually make any of the materials here. So I don't know what the hell. All that $1.6 trillion is just going to go into layers and layers of bureaucracy.
That's all it was to begin with. It wouldn't matter. It was all for like training programs and how to not be evil and white anymore, apparently. So, yeah, infrastructure my ass. And then we haven't even touched on the fact yet that they're finally admitting that, the Rona probably came from a lab in China and not some freaking, market where somebody banged a rat with a chicken or something. Like, it's not racist to say that anymore, apparently. Maybe it probably still is, but that's what they're like. Well, yeah, there's there's a pretty good chance that that's where it came from. And we're all like, "Durr," like, yeah.
Yeah, heads need to roll on that whole thing. Fauci needs to
resign.
Answer for some things.
He needs to answer. Like, again, I'm going to go back to it again and going to keep pounding on it. The censorship that Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everybody have in place over all of that information is just sickening. It's like, it's not just angry. It's like, it makes you sick to think about what they're doing and how we're allowing it, and why people just go on with their wave, and like absolutely sanitizing information to their point of view, where again, it's about freedom and it's about choice. And if they're going to be doing that, they do not deserve any protections. Is that section 235 or whatever that they still underneath, which is absolute bullshit, about controlling the content. You know, if they don't agree with you, they can say you're violating our terms and you're shut down. It's just not, it's just not American, I guess. And it just makes me sick to think about it. And
it's amazing. It's amazing how many people are getting censored right now. It's crazy.
It's going to keep happening too. Like the left, like I'm going to say the left and the right. The left's like, haha, that's good for you guys. Guess what? You're next. You're always going to be next. The left, and always, this kind of beast always eats itself. And so pretty quick, it's going to be impacting everyone. And it's too late, you know? So that's how it goes in a circle. And yeah, the censorship is just mind blowing. So you got that, and then you got anything that you hear on the TV and the news, you wouldn't, you know, wipe your ass with it, let alone listen to it or do anything with it. And so you wonder why they're bribing people across the country to still go get their Rona vaccine, which is insanity.
I remember when I was in college, I was pretty far left. I don't know if I was far left, but I was definitely okay. But I remember
called you you were my favorite communist. That's what I called you. Like, that's how far left you were.
The Department of Homeland Security came under Bush they came out with that color coding system of the threat level.
Oh yeah.
And it was very clear what they're doing. Like, anytime there was a big political, in my opinion at the time, you know, I was like, this is a really stupid system, because anytime Bush needed some favorable political points, that threat level would mysteriously go up to extreme alert, and it just kind of faded away. I don't know, over the years it kind of went away under like Obama. I
totally forgot about it. Yeah,
and now it's back with the white supremacy terrorist threat, and now we're in high risk for terrorist attacks all the time by white supremacists, and they've elevated that risk like 4 times in the last 6 months, and nothing happens.
Well, wasn't that what Biden said a few weeks ago?
The Democrats used to like rally against this nonsense, and now they are fully in favor of it.
Yeah,
everything's backwards. The party's flipped again.
It's crazy. Isn't that what Biden said like 2 weeks ago or a month ago at the joint address of Congress, or where it was like that? It's no longer like Al Qaeda is our biggest threat or international terrorism. It's white supremacy.
Yeah, white.
That was out loud. And we're just like, excuse me, why am I paying taxes again? What the shit are you talking about?
Well, yeah. Isn't that what the Far Reaches podcast is? We're a bunch of white Klansmen or something.
Obviously, yeah. We just keep missing the newsletter about all these things that are going on. Like, apparently, like this means racist or something. I don't know. I totally missed January 6th meeting, and I just feel awful. I'm a very shitty at my job. I apologize right now. Hopefully, I don't pull my credentials, I guess. Yeah.
So what? I don't know.
I don't even know where to begin. That's so lunatic.
The white supremacy deal. I mean, what's behind all that?
The division. I mean, like that's their whole goal, is keep us divided and at each other's throats.
The white male American. What is the big threat from that?
Somehow we're the most evil thing to ever come along. I don't know exactly why.
It was nonsense when back in the day when white people were blaming Muslims for terrorism and accusing them of that. That was nonsense. There's a few bad ones, And then just like there's a few bad white dudes out there. It's not a big threat. It's not a big threat.
It's funny how you can't blame all of Islam or Muslims because some guys supposedly flew a plane into a tower, but it's perfectly okay to blame all white people for basically, I don't even know what. It's perfectly okay to blame all legal gun owners and the NRA for one guy that goes ape shit in Colorado Springs or whatever. So it's always like this one-way street. Like if it's something on that one side of the aisle, then if one person does it, then everybody's instantly guilty of that same thing. But on the other hand, you can't group everybody all together. That's stereotyping. That's racist or some kind of. If I hear "ist" on the end of any fucking word, I basically stop listening. That's pretty safe. I don't know if it's misogynist or phobic or xenophobic or whatever. I'm like, no. I don't care how many words you make up. Like, I just don't like you as a person as an asshole, or I think you're cool. Like, that's pretty much all it boils down to.
Here's a word. Do you have a word of the week?
Yeah. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I was just going to ask a question. What is an abolitionist? What is that?
So you believe in abolition?
Richard. What is Richard? Probably you're the teacher. Explain what an abolitionist is.
They want to abolish slavery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then wasn't there an abolitionist movement to get women to vote? Or that was suffrage?
That was suffrage.
So
abolitionist is just a specific group of people that were trying to
you want to abolish
slavery?
They want
slavery.
It's not necessarily just slavery, but
but that's what it was mostly attributed to.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think especially if you were an abolitionist. Yeah. Why did that come up?
Just that. I don't know. You were talking about ists. What are
yes.
Everything's bad that's an ist. And then I was like, wait, weren't abolitionists pretty good?
Yes, they were. But they haven't been around for a while since we did away with that. So yeah, when somebody's just like throwing out random words about obic or ist, and I'm just like, hey, you probably don't know what that means. Like, that's the most common one. Oftentimes they call conservatives fascists, which I still haven't been able to figure that one out because I don't think it's the antithesis of that. And that's why Antifa corrects me. I'm like, you guys are actually acting extremely fascist when you're saying that you are, in fact, anti-fascist. So
we need to make a deal where people need to stop calling each other fascists or Hitler or Nazis. Like,
yeah, totally.
Unless that really presents itself. You can't draw comparisons to Hitler. Let's stop that because it's both sides. It's like people call, I don't know, it's nonsense.
It doesn't make any sense. That's the other part about it's completely unfounded. You're just taking a person who you think did evil, and you're correlating it with somebody now who you think's doing evil. So,
except for the anti-Semitism coming from some of the folks on the left these days.
Yes, ironically enough, yes.
Hitler-like.
That is indeed Hitler-like, oddly enough, from the people on the left. I don't know if they all had a meeting and ate something bad, or I absolutely unhinged in many ways. Yes.
Did you catch Bernie describing the people that landed on the beach at Normandy as anti-fascists?
I did not, but
that's right, isn't it?
That seems pretty appropriate, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
but they're not Antifa. Yeah, no, I couldn't be farther from the truth. Yeah.
So, anyways,
Ross, did you get your word?
Yes.
What do you have there for us, good sir?
Ken.
You can always. Sorry again.
K-E-N. Ken.
M is in Mike, or N is in November?
N is in November.
So I have Kilo Echo November. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Ken. Not like as in Barbie's boy toy.
Nope.
Okay. Ken. As in a Ken? Like that's like as in a Ken.
No, that's an I-N.
That's A-K-I-N, isn't there something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Ken.
Next to kin is K-I-N, right?
Like kinfolk. That's K-I-N right there. Yeah, I think so. Ken. It almost sounds like some kind of measurement or degree angle, but I don't know. Bradbury, what do you think? He's looking out the window like he's trying to get out of 8th grade science class right now. Damn. Kin.
Yes, we're really in a kin here.
Yeah. Can you use it in a sentence? Can I get the origin? Yeah.
I'll give it away.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
No.
Micah's kin is outstanding.
Not heard that word. Does it mean hair?
Banter.
Is it
like Micah's banter is outstanding?
Is it sort of like charisma? Charisma is a special quality of leadership that captures the popular imagination and inspires allegiance and devotion.
You just pull that off the top of your head? Or you're Googling something like?
No, that was from Son-in-Law.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Rawls, I think it's hair. I don't know. No, I have no idea.
It's a range of what one can know or understand.
Range of what one can know.
So there's a kin.
Say again.
That's a good word.
Spectrum.
Say again, Richard.
I said there's a kin spectrum.
There is. Really?
Yes.
How is that gradiated? Is it like a 1 to 100 score? Is it like colors, or like can you cipher it?
From not being knowing jack shit to being a brainiac, I guess.
Sounds official to me.
Both get you beat up. They want to be squarely in the middle of the kin spectrum.
Both get you beat up. That's hilarious. Oh, I have to interject something here real quick too, since we're randomly talking. But there's several individuals in our audience, and I won't say any names, but they'll know, the little sumbitches know who they are. They have this game they play, or they like to send me inappropriate text messages that they know I cannot read or discuss on the air or probably in front of any other humans. And they'll send them when we're recording. So every once in a while I look down and I'm like, I gotta fucking stop looking at my phone when I'm doing a podcast, because I get this stuff that I just can't, like, it's like you have to look, but I can't talk about it. And then I just later on I'm like, damn you, and then I laugh. So I thought, I know you some bitches are listening, so yes, it works, it's funny. Don't stop. I appreciate it. So, but yeah, it makes me laugh. So that was totally random. Huh? Oh, I inadvertently tell them. I inadvertently tell them. Yeah. I gotta stop telling them, I guess, when we are recording, because as much times as we change when we record, I don't know how they keep up. We can't keep up.
Might as well be streaming live on YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Which reminds me, also, we're gonna start teasing this now, but we've got pretty good confirmation. We're gonna have a very special guest host next week as well. She has agreed to come on and join this posse for a special occasion, special edition, mostly just because Rawls goes, hey, you got to check and see if so-and-so will come on. And I was like, that would be squirrely. So guess what? She said yes. So I'll tell you guys, I think when we're off there, who it is, but I've put a hint up already on the Facebook page. I put one of our text message exchange back and forth. Richard, I got to tell you, best idea ever to put the Reacher Mail on the Facebook page, because it's so easy for me to just snap a picture of that and throw it up there. I love it. So I think that's been a blast. Yeah,
I've been enjoying it.
I think I'm like, oh crap, I gotta put this one up here. Like, so yeah, so part of our conversation from earlier is up there. We'll probably have some more. I got some screenshotted already from this afternoon when we were confirming back and forth.
Nice. It's also nice to know that Micah already has everybody's nickname. It's in his phone. So anonymity is pretty protected, except for a very tight circle.
And then by then it doesn't matter. They're probably in the same room anyways. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point. I try to keep it like truncated, but yeah, I do try to give some props when applicable, because it's that way. So yeah, if all goes to plan and we're all showed up, there should be 5 of us next time we do this, and 1 female presence. And I will tell you, she is a staple of the Lake County region.
Oh my
We'll
Lord.
probably drop some clues throughout the week until then, but
Oh, damn, I already know who it is.
say that now. It could be entertaining. So it's going to be damn fun. So she's actually really excited. She's really excited to come on and talk to you idiots, as she said. So it should be quite entertaining. So I can't believe it took us this long.
We're going to hear the truth. Preach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel sad that it's taken us this long to get this arranged, but I think we needed a good base before we can bring on this. So
I like how you
Excited.
describe it as this.
I was just gonna say, like, and I mean that with all due respect, Arnon, all due respect. So yeah, but I think
All
just
I can
this,
say is, Joel,
Yeah,
buckle
this-
your seatbelt.
The door wide for all other guest hosts.
it does. Yes, it
Yeah.
does. We got several in mind still, but yeah, it's gonna be I think it's the right time. So she's excited to come on. I can't wait to have her. It'll be
We haven't been censored yet. I do believe that we're fixing to.
we're fixing to. Word, yes. So with that, we've had our word, we've ground some gears. Do you want to talk some more about the shitty media or white supremacy? Or I love going back through my notes. You should see like when I go back through this thing and I try to put up the description of what happened and when. I'm like, A, I got to read my writing, and then B, I'm like, what the shit were we talking about then? So yeah, I have grind your gears. I have the media and white supremacy. That's the two notes I have written down for what grind your gears. So we'll see. It should be good. So that brings us to our next segment, which is discussing the upcoming entertainment spotlight, which is bestowed upon Mr. Joel at this time. So he's been anxious about this. I'm sure this is pretty much the only reason he showed up tonight and quit golf early, is so he could come and do his entertainment spotlight. And that's just fine. So Joel, we're anxiously awaiting to see which direction and pathway you're going to take us upon.
Ooh.
So once in a while, I get like the all-time great films list.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Usually not interested in most of them, but this one, like, I've heard of this movie. I never really looked into what it was about. It just looked pretty slow. But I've been waiting to watch it. I really want to watch it, but I've been waiting until we could make it the entertainment spotlight. It is a 1971 American coming-of-age drama film.
Ooh.
Directed and co-written by Peter Bogdanovich.
Oh.
Adapted by the semi-autobiographical 1966 novel The Last Picture Show by Larry McMurtry.
Lonesome Dove?
The Last
no.
Picture Show.
Oh, the last picture show. Yes.
Yeah.
I've not seen
About
this
some
movie
kids in a small Texas town starring Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Early 50s, 1951 and 52. It's a black and white film, it looks like.
I think it's that sienna kind of color. I think I've seen it, but it's been freaking ages. Yeah.
But it's
Great.
considered like one of the best films of all time. And
Bridges
I don't
does an
know.
amazing job,
Well, we'll see about that.
if I recall. Like again, it's been since Christ was a kid since I watched this movie. Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like the Texas
I
version
recommend
of
you
American
get
Graffiti.
stoned and watch it. Yeah.
Okay,
Get
it is
stoned
black
and
and white.
watch it.
Yeah,
I was wondering,
Sybil
what
Shepherd,
town is it based in?
North Texas town, slowly dying both culturally and economically. It doesn't say instantly. Sybil Shepherd's in it, and she's looking, but damn, yeah. Ben Johnson, Cloris Leachman, Ellen Burstyn, Clu Klager, Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid had to be like 7 in this. Bill Thurman.
Anarene, Texas.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, in a tiny Anarene, Texas. Is that a real town? I don't think it is. Anyways,
There's been some
It's a
remakes,
ghost
so
town in
there's-
Archer County, Texas.
look at this.
There's a
I was going to say, real quick, rated R for sexuality, nudity, and language. 3 of the top things I look for in a movie.
Got some boobies
Texas
in it,
gonna
hopefully.
Yeah, there's that too. Now, what are you saying, Richard?
Oh, there's a similar movie called Dancer Texas
Oh,
about
yeah.
there's all sorts of
It's coming of age tales.
yeah.
What was that one we watched? Fandango. Remember when they got to go see Dom? With Kevin Costner was real young. They were going to Texas. They were all going to Vietnam or something. The freaking car, they tear the front end off the car. That's a crazy movie. But awesome, Joel. Looking forward to watching this one. Really am. Great actors. I've seen it, but it's been forever. So I just know that I have, but nothing rings a bell. But yeah, if you can see Sybil Shepherd in this and not make your hair stand up, you ain't American. Just saying.
Say the title again.
The title is The Last
yeah.
Picture Show.
And it says semi-autobiographical novel by McMurtry.
Interesting. Well, it makes sense.
So I guess
yeah.
it's about his growing up experience. I guess he's
Each from Tales.
Different type of novels.
Yeah. So The Last Picture Show, Rawls, 1971. I don't know where it's available at. Joel, do you know? You can rent it. You can watch it on. It's on Prime, I think. I think it's on Prime. Yeah. So
I don't know if it's free.
I'm not sure. It says watch. Yeah. Go ahead, Rich.
And for everybody that's wanting, I will use my pick to review Man from Snowy River. So.
Okay. I was next. So yeah, whatever. Goes Joel, then Micah, then Richard, then Rawley. I haven't decided yet.
It's hard to keep up.
Actually, that's why I wrote it down on my phone. I have to go back and look at it all the time.
I think we should do Man from Snowy River 2, and you pick that one, and I'll do 1.
We might just have a week of people's choice. We just do Man from Snowy River next time anyways, because that's what everybody's been asking for. We'll see.
Have you guys started Alone yet?
Civil is
I just started 2
good,
episodes into the
I'm
new
in.
season of Alone.
I'm on season 7 though, and season 8 just came out today. But I'm on the last episode of season 7 right now.
What am I watching then? I just started.
I hate that
thought it was
format.
What's that, Richard?
Sorry, Joel. Hate the new format where they have the annoying interview.
Oh, at the end? Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the damn show. I know what happened. I don't need to talk about it.
Well, that's why I watch it on Discovery Channel app, History Channel. So I just fast forward to the next episode. So, but yeah, so I'm watching season 7 right now, and I guess according to my updates, season 8 just premiered today on the History Channel app or whatever. So, because one of the gals I follow on LinkedIn, she's actually in season 8. She owns a gun shop in Montana or Colorado. I think it's Montana. She's on season 8. And so that's why she was like, hey, June 3rd premiere. I'm like, sweet. So I go to the History Channel app and I'm like, oh, here it is. And then she's not on it. I'm like, what the crap? I'm like, oh, she's on season 8. This is season 7. So yeah, I was actually watching the final episode of season 7.
The blonde gal?
Well, it's
from Montana.
Well, it's a different one. That's why I was so confused. But yeah, there's a blonde gal in season 7 called Callie on this season. It's another gal, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, who's also blonde and I think from Montana or South Dakota on season 8. So yeah.
Okay.
So season 7's been great. I gotta say, I sent you the guys that picture of that dude in the freaking boat taking a bath. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the season I'm watching.
Yeah, that's 7. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but apparently 8 just came out, so I'm excited because I'm almost done with 7, and I can't wait to see who wins. So we will find out. But a great show. I love that show. It's like what I thought Survivor was going to be when it first came out, what I hoped it would be, and not like freaking high school drama club. So
after the first episode of 7, I'm like, it's going to be that older guy from Arkansas, is my guess, where he's like, I don't want to have a wife or family. I don't have anything to do.
Oh yeah. How many episodes have you watched?
2. But they're not showing the same people every episode.
No, they kind of focus on 3, maybe 4 people per episode, which I kind of dig that. It's easier to kind of tell a better story, I think. So that's cool. But yeah, they're 100 days this time. So 100 days for $1 million. That's pretty cool. Like one guy said.
Anybody who makes it that long gets $1 million.
No, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be, if there's like a tie, if like at 100 days, 2 people are left. They haven't said. So, which would be cool.
I think I could last 3 or 4 days. Then I'd have to go home because I'd be hungry.
Nothing's just like you can't get Uber Eats. Hello. Yeah.
Again, what were the options that they get to take with them?
There's a list of 10 things. There's a whole big list, and they can bring 10 things of those. But I think a bow and arrow is basically the kind of the highest in actual weapon. You know, you can have a knife. I have a fire starter. You can bring a gill net. You can bring paracord. We looked at that list a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah,
because we were talking about season 5 or something. You can have a tomahawk. I think let's say there's like 30 things I think you can choose from, and you can only bring 10 of them. And I think you can have like basic. I don't think like sleeping bag and things like that count as your 10. I don't think, because if I recall, that was one of our question things we did. Like, what would you bring? Which I thought was cool.
What annoys the hell out of me in season 7 is we are now on season 7, and all these people have had the opportunity to watch the whole damn series, and they still cannot make the shit about half of them.
You can't what?
Make any structure, something to live in.
Oh yeah, when you said it, of course, your internet tweaked out on my end. So they still can't make it for shit. And I'm like, yeah, bastards. So yeah, I know. Like they spend I'm going to spend my first 3 months in my temporary shelter, which is like a blue tarp draped over a sapling. And I'm like, dude, I tell you what, man, it would be hammer down Taj Mahal time for me.
Also, it's like when I see the people like they're already hungry and they're out getting excited about snaring a rabbit, I'm like, nope, that guy's losing. He's going to lose too much weight. He can't survive off rabbit.
Yeah, totally true.
I know more of these people do.
Yeah, the porcupine seems to be the top of the desired food chain in season 7. I will say somebody kills a muskox though. Pretty fucking cool. So yeah, pretty squirrely. But yeah, some of their shelters are like
muskox is this season.
There you go. Yeah, their shelters are like, dude, we built better shit than that in like an afternoon between getting off the bus and having to be home by dark. Because like, I don't know about you guys, but like fort building, that was some pretty big shit when I was growing up, and we could bust a move. Yeah, not even heavy equipment. Like I needed like an old shitty saw and a hammer, and we're building a fort, man. It was on.
I think the guy from Portland that hurt his knee and tapped out, he was on to something pretty good with his structure. That was looking pretty good.
Yeah. Then they showed him looked like he lived in like Prineville, but they said he lived in Portland because there was some other a-hole from Oregon.
Yeah, he was definitely on the John Day or the Deschutes.
Yeah, they were for sure.
Yeah, there's a guy named Joel from Sisters.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him on the show yet. He hasn't made an appearance.
Okay. They do interviews.
Ben, is it's a big benefit if you've ever spent any time with tribes of people that have to survive in the wilderness in other countries. Like the guy that won season 6 spent a lot of time in Russia, and then the guy that I'm sort of behind for season 7 is the guy from Africa that spent the time with the
I think the name of the tribe. Yeah. Maasai? No.
Maasai tribe, yeah.
Yeah. So it's good training. Yeah, that one dude that was like a couple seasons ago, like spent, it was like a reindeer herder or some shit, wasn't he, for a few months or years in Russia?
Yeah, that guy was cool. I liked him.
That's right. I forgot about that. So yeah, we'll have to have a live update next episode as well, because like I said, last episode tonight, I'm already halfway through it, so I won't see it till tomorrow because I'm going to bed after this, but it's there. So maybe tomorrow morning early when I'm up putting this thing together, I'll have that on the back now. We'll see. We shall see. So excellent movie pick, Mr. Joel. I'm excited to watch that. And so that leads us to our next super popular segment, buying stuff. Anybody been buying anything, thinking about anything, researching? I have, and I've been thinking about it anyways. I haven't done it yet, but I'm looking for a new, what they call stick burner barbecue / smoker. So I got bit by that bug for some apparent reason. So I was outside, and I needed a good fire to heat up my branding iron to put my brand on the bench that I built at Dad's. So I built a nice fire in my fire pit, and I had a nice bed of coals burned down, kind of itch. And I was like, I got tri-tip in the refrigerator I was going to smoke later on. I'm just going to throw it on there. So I seasoned it up, and I put a grill grate down on it, threw it on the fire, seared it real good, scooped it all aside, moved it over, let it slow cook for another 45 minutes or so. And so good. I was like, damn, I've been thinking about getting a different smoker anyways. And so then that started my research into the world of offset smokers. And so, yeah, I've started a couple battles on some smoker forums already, just from questions, because people like to. So I have a pellet smoker right now, pellet grill, made by Gorilla, which is in the United States. And so the slang for those is a pellet pooper. And so I was on this, I think it's like North Texas barbecue fans. There's like 180,000 people on this Facebook group. I'm like, hey guys, I've got a pellet pooper and I'm looking to upgrade to a stick burner. What are the features / specifications you look for in a stick burner? And the very first dude's like, upgrade? I can't believe you're calling it an upgrade. There's people win competitions every day with pellet and blah. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying, dude. So I'll tell this funny story. So this dude, of course, like everybody's bashing on him back and forth. And then this lady in Missouri starts kind of pecking. I'm like, hey, yeah, sure. But, I think a lot of people that do stick burners do very well in competitions also, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to check your facts. So she puts up a picture on the Facebook thing, and it's her official barbecue judge ID badge in Missouri, of all places. And she says, obviously, you know more than I do. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. And I was like, oh, shit. She just got totally smacked down. So anyways, this big, huge blow up about, because I said the words, I want to upgrade to a stick burner. But I've got some great advice on about features to look for in the smoker, which I think has been great. So people have been really helpful and not like, oh, if you don't buy a leg, then you're getting shit. They're like, look for this feature, like where the smokestack comes out or this or that, the other. So that's been really cool. Anyways, that's been my passion the past few weeks, is to look into one of those and change my barbecue / smoking game around a little bit. So I guess if any of the reachers have any comments, let me know.
I encourage you to watch season 1, the Francis Mailman episode, and try his open fire cooking style.
Now say that again. Hold on, I was writing something down. So say again, Richard.
Check out Chef's Table on Netflix, season 1,
Chef's Table.
Francis.
Yeah.
And try and master his open fire cooking style. Coolest barbecuing I've ever seen.
So that was season 1, episode what? I'm sorry to keep interrupting. I want to get sure I get it right though.
Sorry.
Huh? What's that?
Can't find. That's season 1. Let me see if I can find the episode.
Open fire. Okay. One of the things I looked at is an Argentine style grill that has it's a platform with heat bricks underneath it and a big grate, and then you have a fire grate over here where coals fall down underneath, and then you slide those around and make different zones of heat. But it's more of a grill per se, not really a smoker, but I'm really intrigued by that. I think I already have a smoker, and that would be super fun to cook on. I think would just be a blast. But anyways, that's a sidetrack, but it's definitely open fire cooking.
You'll be all in once you watch Francis Mailman, you'll be all in.
Cool. Yeah, I had just so much fun. Just a tri-tip on a freaking. Yeah, I know that's the other part about it too. I'm like, simple, Micah. Keep it fucking simple. Like that's one of my rules of order. So, yeah, I'm digging it. So I'll keep you posted. But and I'll also any suggestions from anybody, please shoot them my direction. But I smoked chicken thighs on my pellet grill tonight. It was absolutely amazing, like so good. So it doesn't do anything wrong. It does it really, really well. I'm just intrigued about these other styles of using fire and wood to cook stuff, because like just the sear you get, like the flavor from that, like even the tri-tip, it was like outside over fire, great smoke flavor, so really intriguing. I've even looked at like one of those little, like all the shitty little grills, like you're in the state park. You can buy those for a couple $100. I think that would be a total kick in the butt, because I'm certainly not like, oh, I got the one grill and then I'm done. It's like I want like 9 different things, because who knows what you want to cook and when. So I'll try to check that guy out, Richard. I probably watched that and forgot.
I'll do a little open fire cooking with you if you go that direction.
Oh, hell yeah. It's on, dude. Yeah. It sounds perfect. Joel, you buying any accessories for your Dodge pickup yet? Bumper, toolbox, jack, tires?
Yeah. There's a few things I want, but I don't know if I'll ever get around to it. Mud flaps, the step thing, because I guess some short people can't have trouble getting in the pickup. And I want to tint the front windows and get one of those covers for the bed of the pickup.
Ah, yes. Many styles to choose from. Tonneau cover.
Tonneau cover.
Yeah.
But
they make hard
I'm
ones,
all
they
out of
make
money.
roll-up
I
ones.
just bought a pickup. I don't have any money left.
Well, you're American. You can't let that stop you.
I was wondering if like I could go out to like Bo's place and
You might have
find
something.
like running. What are they called?
Running boards.
Running boards.
Yeah, a lot of different styles.
Running boards.
Dude, definitely get a hold of Bo. See what you can jack, because that's pretty popular pickup style. So you might find a grill guard. You might find a tonneau cover for sure. Might find some running boards. I'd definitely give him a call. Absolutely. Pull in some favors, man. You know people who know people. Take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I think that takes us to our final segment of the week, which also happens to be the best thing of the week. So I'm not going to differentiate there just because it's the best thing and it's the last thing. So Rawls, you got a best thing of the week for us on our home slice?
Oh, well, the best thing this week is we do have some rain in the forecast for tonight, so I hope that comes
good.
true. They're talking, at least the forecast I read said that in the next 12 to 24 hours we could see up to a half inch of rain, which would be fantastic.
Perfect.
But I'm not going to hold my breath, and it usually ends up being a lot of wind.
So.
There's a big fire up there right now, isn't there?
There's
Joseph
not
Canyon.
Not anymore.
They've
got pretty well contained. I don't know. I think I read it did a little over 7,000 acres of grass. So it was in some rough country. So, but yeah, it was right on the Oregon-Washington border. So.
Oh, okay. Cool. Hope you get some rain.
Yeah, no, that'd be the best thing of the week. I'm sure there's other things I could comment on, but I haven't thought about a whole lot here.
You're not at the front of your mind right now, especially with that on your head, for sure.
Yep. So, yep.
I guess Richard's best thing was he's fucking done with this. Yeah. So Joel, what do you got?
Well, the girlfriend showed up in town.
Outstanding. Welcome home, Jess.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some things. We're going camping this weekend.
Oh, cool.
Up by Meacham, I think, and then Seattle next week, and that'll be interesting.
Sweet. Taking the train up, or are you driving?
Gonna take the pickup into downtown Seattle. Hopefully.
Nice. Just trust your navigation. You'll be fine. Just call Steve Wells. He'll get you there. Ask Kurt about that. That was a hell of a trip. So look at Rawls. I think I just heard Rawley. I'm sorry, Rawls. Yeah. Richard.
There's just something to be said for Adventures with Neener.
Oh, I love it, dude. That could be a whole book, Adventures with Neener.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain the concept of Neener to my dad this past week because often I call my dog Scraps Neener. It's sort of an ode to Hi Steve. And then I told him a couple stories about both him and Lunchbox or Jason. And he's just like, I'm like, he's just that gang, you know. You love him or you don't, man. And thank God, I just love him to death. So yeah, it's Adventures with Neener, man. He's just like, and it just creates this shockwave like all around. Like we were just just headed to see Neener and freaking calves flying out of the back of horse trailers and everything. What's that, Joel?
Steve Wells or is that Steve or Kurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve Wells is Neener. Yeah. No official relationship, but I consider him my brother. Yeah.
Oh,
man. And Lunchbox both, but Steve for sure. Yeah.
Good people.
Who's Lunchbox again?
Jason Wells. That's Steve's brother. Lunchbox Willie. So it's Boxcar Willie's illegitimate child. But Hendrix used to call him Lunchbox all the time in high school, and then I started calling him Lunchbox Willie. Then it got abbreviated to LBW. So, but not to be confused with LBM, which is Little Big Meat, which is Winston. So, anyways, yeah.
Okay.
Or AKA Winnie the Sioux. So there's that. But Richard, what's the best thing of the week there, darling?
Oh,
Richard Bradbury, me.
What just happened? Kevin Kahn friended me on Facebook.
Oh my goodness. I almost wrote.
Yes.
I can just hear Kevin. I was friends with you already, Bradbury. I don't need to have friends on Facebook too. Rah, 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 rah. I'm the oldest 40-year-old ever. Yeah.
Oh no, it's been a good week. Got to hang out with the kid. It's just really sort of settling into life in Lakeview again, and really have to say I'm enjoying it.
Awesome.
So
outstanding.
I figure it takes about 2.5 years to completely calm down into the flow of
that's probably Lakeview. A good way to put that. Get kind of merge fully into traffic. Yeah. At first. So I always thought that was funny when I'd go to Klamath Falls for the day or something when I lived in Lakeview. And then you come back to Lakeview just a day. Yet you're still driving like you're in Klamath, and like it just does not mesh with Lakeview driving. Like
completely unnecessary.
Exactly. Like I didn't have to pull right out in front of that guy because A, he's turning anyways. B, he's going 22 miles an hour. Like it's just like a completely style difference. And I would laugh about that in high school. Like, I'm sorry, I just got back from Klamath. I'm driving like an a-hole. It was just a complete night and day difference. So I could imagine coming back under civilian times, like not Roundup, it definitely would. Yeah, it's adjustment for sure. But you're doing
I will say that with everything going on with the drought and shedding cattle everywhere and not having an uncertain future, I have a guy that sort of loosely partners with that called up and was really supportive and really proactive in trying to solve some problems, and completely didn't need to do any of it. Like most of the most of the deal with our partnership is on me. And so, it's times like this that really bring out the real people with real character. And you should remember that I feel sorry for the people that don't remember those people in the good times, because there's just not many of them. And it's very seldom that somebody goes out of their way to try and help out. Like there's the token, if you need anything, let me know. But there's like, oh, I'm seriously here. I got your back. What do you need? I'll do what I can. And you like generally believe it. And I'm very fortunate to have a network of people that are helping me out. So I hope in their times I can help them back somewhere or another. So
I think that's a noble pursuit as well. And I think if nothing else, it's just knowing that those people are there. And it sounds cheesy to some people, but like when you're in a spot, sometimes just knowing that people are truly there, they might not actually do anything physical or monetarily for or with you, but just knowing that, like, cool, thanks, man. And like you just got that base, and then you can you might get your ass kicked anyways, but
Yeah. I was calling around and trying to make some plans, and not really anything big deal or anything, but I crossed some paths with some guys, and it goes, oh yeah, that guy that he said he's your partner from up there, and yeah, he already called, so yeah, we're already talking about it. So
So he beat you to the
anyways,
punch. Yeah.
yeah, no, so and I didn't know he was doing it, and it was
Yeah.
completely surprised. And when you hear it secondhand that somebody not only called you and said, "Hey, I got you," but then hear that they're actively trying to fulfill that sentiment, and that's pretty cool. So,
And they
gotta say
called the
that's
same
probably
person you did,
good
so
for
they
you.
were pretty much on track too. They weren't just talking out their ass. So like
Yeah, so
that's good too. You guys crossed the same path, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
sweet. That's pretty cool.
And then yeah, family, my sister really helped out today. So yep, it's going to be a long year, but it's these kind of things that make it bearable.
True. Very true. Yeah. Very true. It makes you appreciate when everything's running smooth too. It's easy to say now.
Yeah.
But it certainly is though. I mean, like, and you carry that with you through the tough times too. Like that goes into your decision making and like how you approach things and how you analyze things. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been in my gut that this is going to be miserable since like probably
So,
February. I started
say January or February, you were like, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was before the drought.
Yeah. So yeah, I've felt it coming. I've been through similar situations in the past, but I will have to say, and I don't want to capitalize too much time. All my time doing emergency response and everything, I think that I'm so happy for that skill set right now.
Oh yeah.
Because it really after you've done that for a decade and been in the oil field for a decade, it's really a lot easier to take a 30,000 foot view of it and know that this too shall pass. It's gonna be Sucksville for a while, but it's completely possible to rebuild and do it better. I'm already implementing things that I've been wanting to implement for years because I'm thin enough, and I'm gonna be when everything is said and done, it'll be basically like being able to start from zero again. So
yeah.
I can take all those things that I couldn't implement or that I had some paradigm against implementing or some other reason that it couldn't be done, and really so I think that it's a good time to just take the time and rebuild and replan and restructure and go forward better. So
I think that experience helps you. I'm going to use this phrase, triage, probably better than average as well. Like how to assess, how to look at the high view, how to hit things first that need to be addressed, and be able to kind of stop and step out of the moment a bit and address those things instead of screaming and going in circles down with the boat. I think you address that and cut things off and do what needs to be done to keep moving, as opposed to like, well, fuck, there we go. Screw, so there's two ways to hit those things. So I think that experience certainly, I think, lends to that skill set.
Oh, and then maybe between now and next time I'll go into the carbon summit. I was thinking today, if it had been me 20 years ago, I'd have been too nervous to go. But I know getting away for 3 days isn't going to make or break this deal. So go spend some up in Idaho, meeting some really cool people, and so that should be a great fun too. So
I try to hit the virtual version of that.
I saw there's like 5,000 people.
Yeah, it's pretty squirrely. So
yeah. So, anyways,
it's on my calendar. Hope I can make it.
I will yield the table.
Hurrah. The gentleman from Lakeview has yielded the table. And your remaining time, so noted. Best. I've been watching C-SPAN all week, so best thing of the week. This is really weird. It just struck me today too. Is some of the pictures that you put on the Facebook a couple days ago, and I had to go in for I went for MRI, and they're making sure that my balance and my hearing is actually being impacted by that, and not a tumor or something. So I had to do like the freaking 45-minute head smash in the MRI. And so I was thinking about your pictures. Then I got to thinking about high school. Then I got to thinking about ag class, and like that picture sparked like a whole. I was in there for like almost an hour. That whole time, I was just thinking about all these random incidents and activities and people and stuff in high school. And so like totally took my brain off the chaos of the and just like getting mangled in this little freaking tube where I can hardly breathe. So it was just random that all those things came together, but it made me appreciate our friends, our friendships, like what I get to do and just where I came from mostly. And so it was a really weird deal because it's like sort of like a weird, you're not really asleep, but I definitely wasn't like fully awake. And so it was some kind of weird, MRI induced coma, basically. So it was pretty cool. And I had a good spirit world and not evil things when I was kind of drifting in and out of consciousness. So it was fun to see the pictures and flashbacks and the comments, and it just took me all through growing up there. So, and that was tied with being home last week with hanging out with Dad and all that kind of stuff too. So it was a really cool combination of both. So not so necessarily, what's that?
So much mercy in the comments.
Yes, there's that too. Yeah. That's how we care. Yeah. So just a lot of reflection. It was cool. So it's tied well together, and just got to make me grateful for what I have and who we are. So kumbaya, bitches. So you guys anything to add to that? That was pretty craptacular. Beautiful. So that was our last official segment. So as a reminder, next time we meet, which planning on being next week again, we're going to talk about the what the hell was the name of that book or that movie? The Last Picture Show. Last Picture Show, 1971, Jeff Bridges, Sybil Shepherd, based in North Texas, semi-autobiographical. Joel will also have Word of the Week as the Entertainment Spotlight host. And so then I think even after that, I think we're just going to do People's Choice for Band from Snowy River. So I don't think that's going to have to be anybody's, not that I wouldn't pick that. It's just, I think it's the people have spoken, and we always say, write in and tell us what you want, and we'll think about it or talk about it. So I think, Richard, you're very correct in just saying like, well, let's just do Man from Snowy River next. And I say, sounds good. And then I'll jump in after that. So I think the people have spoken from the Reacher mail and comments. We're going to do Man from Snowy River after Joel's movie next week after. So everybody can plan. Now we know what it's going to be. It's just the Reacher mail version. And I think that's pretty cool. So keep sending your messages. If you want to, you can just go to the Facebook page and you can put them on there. That's okay. If you like still texting them to me or Rawls or Richard or Joel or anybody, like, they all can do the same thing. Keep them coming. I'm having a blast with the comments and making sure it's just so easier for me to remember to get them up there accurately. And I think people like to look at them. So yeah, send them in, keep them coming. We love the comments. Again, thanks to our good friends at B&K Auto Salvage for sponsoring us, and Pendleton Mixer and Cigar. And we couldn't do it without you guys. You make it so much easier. So we'll just like us, share us. Basically every podcast outlet, we are there. We are on YouTube. We are on the Facebook. So we are not hard to get a hold of. So if you don't talk to us, that's your fault. So with that, we're going to wrap this session up. Far Reaches, and you all just keep on reaching.